Referee is Paul Cooper. Southend have won the toss and have decided not to turn York City around here, so York City will be getting this game underway. They'll also be kicking from left to right towards the empty north stand. And alongside me is Ian Dunn.
Yes, the atmosphere, David, I've got to say, and the new manager obviously has helped give us a little bit more of a spring to our daily chores of watching York City, our weekly chores, but the atmosphere so far, David, is brilliant. I just hope the players understand the importance of not conceding first. Today, if City can get that lead, this crowd could take them over the line. This is a tough game. So important City start off on the front foot.
Never a chore, always a pleasure watching York City.
100%, of course.
York City get this game underway, and they've mixed it up again from last week. You remember last week they tried to run straight at the defence of Borehamwood through the centre of the park. Today they sent it out to the right-hand side to Ryan Fallowfield, and he decided to pass it across the back to corner to Crooks, to Latty Fairweather, and then York City give away a free kick just short of halfway that Southend take quickly, looking for Jack Bridge on this left-hand side. But it's well defended there by Messiah Kuyar, who got his head to it, and it's going to come back out to Kuyar on this near side. Into touch it goes. Neil Ardley feels the ball in his grey jacket today. The conditions couldn't be any more removed from last week, where it was baking hot. Everyone was dying for the heat exhaustion. Today, there's a chill in the air. You're still sitting there in short sleeves, Ian. That's a schoolboy error because it is cold.
I'm still warm from the room. I will come down to temperature shortly. I've got my coat right next to me. You're right, it isn't warm. This David, today is, I remember, if this was under lights, this would be perfect conditions for football. Perfect conditions.
And it is 4-4-2, I can tell you, that York City are lining up. So Messiah Kuyar's on the right-hand side. Kai Kennedy, as I expected, is on the left-hand side. Crooks playing at centre-back today alongside Tyler Cordner. Cordner straight away gives the ball away as he tries to play it into midfield to Kuyar, and Kuyar does really well for York City to win it back. Now Ollie Dyson's giving it away in the right back position on this near side, gets the tackle in. That was sloppy from Kuyar and Dyson.
Yes it was. You're right, David, just a little bit nervy there. I think that neither of them really wanted to be brave on the ball. You need to be brave on the football. If it lands at your feet, have an idea, have a picture of what you're going to do with it.
Bridge throws it down the line to Fonguk. Has he won another throw in? He has. York City thought it was theirs. The referee says no. That's a Southend throw, and there's going to be a long throw in from Scott Morris, who's come all the way across from the right hand side, the right wing back, to this left, and is going to put this into that York City penalty area. Can they defend? Is Ryan Whitley alert? Harry Cardwell stands just in front of him, and it comes now into the middle, kicks off Cardwell round the back. Kuyar's there to try and clear for York City, but they won the first contact there. That was dangerous, and York City are going to win a throw in the far side of the ground.
Yeah, that was a long throw, wasn't it?
It was
into
flat.
The box and flat. Yeah, it was dangerous. So it's like he struck it with a pin.
He sort of curled his arms around his head, didn't he? Instead of coming from directly over his head.
Yeah.
And he sort of spun it into the area.
Yeah, he got that trajectory that it looked, oh my God.
Latty Fairweather thought he was caught on the ball. Well, he was caught on the ball, and he's given away a corner kick, that far side of the field. Cardwell causing problems in the early couple of minutes.
Are we nervy? Oh, Harry Cardwell, he's a player I'd love to see at York City, by the way. If anyone with money is listening.
Well, City were interested last season. I know for a fact City were interested last season.
Imagine him up front with Dippo, though. The running he does.
Well, the suggestion last year was that he wanted the best part of £2,000 a week, and that's why that maybe didn't happen. But now wants to move back home closer to. But I think the Southend players as well. I think they sort of feel as though they have a duty of care to that football club at the minute because of everything that's going on.
Yeah, and all credit to them. They are doing their bit for Southend football.
Referees having a word here with Scott Morris and Dyson. There was a bit of pushing in the penalty area there as they wait for this corner kick to come in. Remember, City conceded twice from corners in this game last season, and it comes one in the air though by Akinyemi. He heads clear. It's going to come to Demetriou. City got everyone back guarding their own box. Demetriou to this left hand side to Callum Powell. Latty Fairweather's been dragged all the way across, completely out of position, still trying to mark players up from the corner kick. Now to Noor Hussin, he's going to get the cross in, has time to take 3 touches. It's a deep one, it's too deep, and it goes out of play for a goal kick, but it's a good start from the visitors.
Very much they are on the front foot, but I think we had to expect this, David. This isn't a bottom of the, keep reminding people, this is not a bottom of the table side, this is a top 6
I think they would
side.
Be 6th, if they had those 10 points back.
Yeah, and then just speaking metaphor, they would be pushing for promotion if in normal seasons.
Latty Fairweather caught on the ball again that far side, but he didn't really have any options. He's fortunate that York City get the throw in as it deflects off the Southend player. Yeah, Neil Ardley's point about Southend was looking at all the stats and the XG and all this sort of stuff, that they actually should be top of the league.
That's what I mean.
The 10 points.
That's what I mean. Yeah, sixth with what they've got, but actually this is a team that could win this league. That's how good they are. We know they're good. So it's a big afternoon for City on here. That No Hussein as well last season causes all sorts of problems.
City are struggling to clear their defensive third here. They've put them to touch Batty the far side of the area. It's going to be another long throw from Scott Morris. Depot's having to drop all the way back. In fact, Depot's staying upfield, and it's John Lewis this time who's going back to help our defender. Remember, Linnell John Lewis with the captain's arm. Oh, they've gone short. City are asleep. He's got to come back to Scott Morris. He puts in the cross now. It's a Depot, and they've got 3 at the back here of Southend, but it's overhit again. Powell has to come back to try and recycle it on this near side. He gives it to Bridge. Bridge, tackle comes in from Batty. Another throw in to Southend. Is he going to come across again? Scott Morris to launch it into that box? Yeah, don't think he will this time. I
was going to suggest this may be a nervy start from York. It isn't nervy at all. They are just on the front foot, and we are sort of hanging in there, showing a bit of resolute. They're going to have to be resolute and certainly try and quell all these early attacks from Southend.
John Lewis does well to get his foot to that as Bridge takes the throw into Miley. Another throw into Southend. 5.5 minutes gone. BBC Radio York City 0, Southend United 0. But York haven't been over halfway, and they kicked off this match. They have not been in the Southend half once so far. Kensdale at the back in the centre circle in the York City half. Sends it out to the right hand side to Scott Morris. He's going to come forward. A little ball inside to Hussein. No Hussein, the Afghanistan international. Lots of experience he's got playing for Reading, Crystal Palace, Notts County, Stevenage and others. Same as Dimitriou, played for many clubs over the years, but has been stuck at Southend for 5 or 6 years now. Scott Morris up against Latty Fairweather. Little return ball round the corner. He manages to get the pass away as well. City struggling to clear. Back again to Southend. Cross comes into the York City boxer. Deep on, looking for Bridge. Fallowfield heads clear. Good header clear for him as well. Gives it to Kuyar. Back to Fallowfield. He sends it forward for Akinyemi. Not had a touch so far. Deepo Akinyemi sent forward again by Southend United. That's aimless though, and he goes behind. A goal kick to York City, and maybe time for Ryan Whitley just to tell his defenders and those in front of him to relax for a couple of moments.
Yeah. It isn't nervy. We're just under pressure. The players are under pressure. Southend have started off so quickly.
City playing out from the back. Whitley to corner. Back to Whitley. The press is on to the left-hand side to Crooks, who has to go long. Did all right eventually there, York City.
Did what was asked of him.
Kennedy loses the ball though. Somehow manages to find Akinyemi that loose ball. Over halfway. City have the ball in the opposition half. It's taken 6 minutes and 54 seconds. Dyson now. Square ball to Batty. Really needs to up his game, I think. Ollie Dyson, the centre of that York City midfield.
Yeah.
The one who's clearly been lacking in confidence in the opening weeks of the season.
This is good.
Good play. Fallowfield to John Lewis. Lays it off to Kuyar. Southend now given time though to get men back behind the ball to Fallowfield, who's pushed forward on the right hand side. He goes back to Batty. Batty to Cordner. Neil Cox comes out of his dugout to stand next to Neil Ardley, having a chat between the two of them. City come forward down the left. Akinyemi manages to control and turn in the one movement. Dyson, Latty Fairweather, Kennedy halfway in the Southend half in front of the Southend fans. Infield it comes to Dyson. Dyson to Batty. Batty to Cordner. Everyone now in the Southend half of the field. Cordner down the line for Kuyar. Kuyar, can he get there? I think that's overhit from Cordner. Dimitriou hoping that was going to go out of play for a goal kick. Didn't have the legs on it though, so they have to pick up the ball. Now Kensdale, the big centre back for Southend United, has it in his own penalty area, and he's going to play it out to the right hand side to Scott Morris.
It was the right idea by Tyler Cordner, trying to find that gap in between the centre back and the left back for Maz Kuyar to make his run. Didn't come off that time, but I certainly wouldn't deter me from trying it again. And Tyler Cordner, we all know he's got a really good pass on him and he sees things.
Long ball forward from Kensdale to the right hand side. Great ball. Scott Morris brings down. He pushed further forward on that right hand side because they're having so much of the ball in the opening stages here at Southend. Hussein, Taylor, Kensdale. He can spread it to the right. He now tries to spread it to the left. It comes off the head of Ryan Fallowfield. Throw in near the corner flag to Southend United. Scott Morris, will he come across? Or they're going to go short again? I think they may go short. Southend United. Jack Bridge just dries the ball on his shirt. former Northampton and Carlisle player. In fact, they are now going to go long as Scott Morris comes across. And the referee doesn't like the time wasting here that's taken. He has a little word in the ear, one of the Southend players, Scott Morris, as he comes across.
It's strange time wasting because they have started off so well.
You tell them to get a move on. Oh, they've gone short to Fonguk. Kennedy follows him out. Back to Scott Morris. Puts pressure on the ball to Dimitri, just outside the penalty area. 25 yards, loud space. Square ball to Hussin. Hussin takes on the shot.
Good
Straight
hands.
to the arms of Ryan Whitley.
Yep. Was it Hussin that came on and chipped our keeper last year? Do you remember? At Southend.
In the league game, Wayne Bridge. Jack Bridge scored both goals.
No,
one was a penalty, and the other one was a curler from this near side that we're on.
It was that one, wasn't it? Yeah, sort of ding to the top corner, wasn't it? Yeah.
I missed the game here, but I know there were two set pieces, weren't they?
Yes.
Were they both in the first half?
I think
corners, and the one was relatively early on in that game as well.
Yeah.
And then City played well in the trophy match.
They did.
But they made 5 changes and rested all their best players that afternoon, if you remember.
Yes, they did. But it was the opposite of the week before. The week before, we got absolutely humiliated. And then the trophy game, to be fair, we turned the tables.
We did. Manny Duku had a decent afternoon in that game, despite missing a penalty. They're allowed to come forward as Demetriou down this left. Allowed to come far too far forward. Scott Morris is still on the left here. They swap sides with Bridge. As Scott Morris, this is interesting. Sent forward again by Southend. City have dealt with it well. Dyson to Fallowfield. Batty. Bridge has gone across the far side. Scott Morris is, at the minute, playing on this near side. So we've got inverted fullbacks. Kensdale at the back for Southend United. Harrogate Town at Bradford City in League 2. That's on DAB. We'll let you know when the goals in that. I'll go through all the early goals up and down the land in a couple of minutes as Kennedy gives away the ball to Hussin over that far side. Taylor back to Kensdale. Southend in their all yellow away kit. He gives it to Demetriou, the diminutive Demetriou. To Scott Morris. And they're happy, content just to pass it around at the back here. The Kevin Mars side. Another man who was linked with York City at times towards the back end of last season. As the Southend boss, Cardwell gets his head to that. Can't do much with it though. Goes through to Ryan Whitley.
Well, he's done a great job, hasn't he? To keep these players motivated as well. The job he's done has been remarkable.
It has.
It's a foul, surely.
Still suggestions that in a month's time, I think they've got another 20-odd days of Southend United, maybe even fewer than that.
It should be heartbreaking because they're a big club, Southend, you know.
Oh, huge.
Really
for the level.
Big club. And they should be. They shouldn't have these troubles, off-field troubles, in their existence.
They've won that ball in midfield. John Lewis thought he was fouled. Referee says no. Cardwell to Bridge on this left-hand side. They've swapped back again now. Bridge on the left. He takes on Cordner. Cordner can't get anywhere near him. Fonguk, his touch lets him down. It falls to Miley. Miley to Scott Morris. Deep cross into the box. There's no one there. Ryan Whitley did slip there, but it's overhit and goes out for a goal kick. 0-0 BBC Radio York. 12 minutes on the clock.
Yep, it's been a tough start for City. This Southend definitely been the better of the two sides, but City has stood strong. We're going to have to do a lot of it looking at this match and the way it's set up, because Southend have come here to win, not to nick a point or anything like that.
Forward to Depot's handled that as City come forward down the left. And it's a free kick in the York City half to Southend. Early kick-off, Wolves 1, Liverpool 3. Good comeback win for Jurgen Klopp's side in that game. No goals in any of the other Premier League games today. I know it's the Brighton lineup there at Old Trafford today. They made quite a few changes at Brighton. Resting players for their Europa Conference League or Europa League campaign that starts this week. Is a suggestion.
Resting players at Old Trafford?
Resting players off the back of lots of travel on international duty. People like Estepinian not involved in their matchday squad today. He's in my fancy team as well, Ian. I can tell by the look on your face he's probably in yours.
Mitoma?
Mitoma's in. I don't think there's any Solly March. I don't think is involved. Zhao, the striker, is on the bench.
I'm not sure you want to go to Old
Ferguson is on the
Trafford
bench.
with a weakened side, do you really? You know.
But Jurgen Klopp rested his 2 South Americans, didn't he? He didn't put them on the bench. None of them. First time they got back at training was yesterday. All these players, so you can understand why.
That's
maybe.
Liverpool at Wolves, not Brighton at Man United.
That's true.
Man United, that could be. Might regret that decision. Brighton manager.
Southend have it. Demetriou. Lakers to run forward. Demetriou still got it all the way up to the penalty area, into the penalty area. Got to close him down better than that, Ollie Dyson. Little ball around the corner. Kouya's there to help out. But that was reminiscent of the second goal last week, where the York City's midfield just opened up.
Too easy. Opened up like the parting of the waves. It really was. It's got to be more compact in there and together. Almost like on a rope. If you imagine, it should be on a rope together. If one goes right, the other two shuffle across and fill the gaps up.
Neil Lardley standing there, arms crossed, cannot be impressed with what he's seen so far. Diagonal ball from right to left. He will have been impressed with Southend. Towards Bridge, Fallowfield does well for York City. Fallowfield gives it to Kouya. Kouya back to Ryan Fallowfield, to Dyson. Dyson, little ball in field. Oh, give it away, gives it to Batty. Batty gone, he has to give the ball away to Cardwell. What was Ollie Dyson doing again there? He put Batty in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah.
And now there's a foul in the centre of the park. Kennedy's brought down. Referee wants a word with the Southend player.
Yeah, Kai Kennedy wants to make a meal of this because he wants to we need to slow this game down. I'd be screaming onto the players, slow it down, try and get a breather, because Southend are just building up too much momentum for me, David. I mean, that was.
It's all right trying to play out, but he put him in awful trouble there.
Well, the thing is, if you try and play out against a team that's playing high, if you aren't brilliant at it, there's undoubtedly going to be mistakes made when you get under so much pressure.
The sound you can hear now, the round of applause from the York City fans, is the Southend United supporters shouting, "We want Martin out." Of course, is the owner and the man whose door you can lay all the troubles at Southend United, all down to him. Linnell John Lewis for York City. Chests it down, lays it off to Ryan Fallowfield. He gives it to Kouya. I've seen quite a bit of the ball on this right-hand side is Mosiah Kouya whenever York City managed to get the ball. Fallowfield tries to get John Lewis. Demetriou nips in front of him to win it back, though, for the visitors. Bridge forward to Fonguk. He turns away from Fallowfield. Corner does well, though, for York City. Gives it again to Kouya. Kouya cuts in field. Cardwell's there, though, and he gets it back again for the visitors. They must have had 75-80% of the possession in the opening 15 minutes here at the LNER, the visitors. Ball forward, looking for Powell. Powell turns away from Latifeh with a far too easily, lets him cut in field into the penalty area. Does well to get back in position, to be fair to him. Cross comes in, hits Latifeh with his arm, but from about 2 yards out, the referee didn't even think twice about waving play to go on.
Yep, too easy. Latifeh, they got turned inside out there by the little man.
Dyson, lots of space in the centre of the park. He's getting the bird, though, from the York City fans here because they had passes on. He did well to create some space. Now he apologises because he should have passed it out to this right-hand side to Kouya.
That's the thing about being brave on the football, David. Trusting your ability. The pass was on. He saw it. The fans saw him.
He's still apologising again. Yes, is Ollie Dyson.
He didn't have the gumption to, I'm going to trust myself here. I'm going to ping this out to Maz Kouya and we're on the break. No, I'll have a touch and keep it. You know, the fans don't want to see that. I get it, if you're winning 1-0 you're trying to defend the lead, but that was a real opportunity to set Maz Kouya free and he didn't take it. That's something Ollie Dyson can only he can wear that out. If it's a confidence thing or if he doesn't trust his ability, I would say to him, you can do that. Have a go.
Thrown to Southend deep inside their own half to Bridge. I've said a big thank you to Michael Miles, who we all know as Y-Front on Twitter. He's been and brought us a couple of copies of the latest edition of Y-Front. There's two great photos in there of David Longhurst as well. Of course, we not celebrated, but it was the anniversary of the terrible death of David Longhurst last week. There's one of the pictures in there.
Yeah.
I had to do a double take it. I was like, who's that? And then it took me a while to actually realise it is David Longhurst.
Yeah, with the clown, the clown nose on.
Clown nose on. Black and white picture. Great photo.
Biggest smile in football, did Longy.
Ollie Dyson for York City finds Kouya again on this right-hand side. Kouya gets behind Fonguk. Gives it to John Lewis. Good play for York here to Fallowfield on the right-hand side. He holds the ball up and gives it back to Dyson. Dyson, terrible ball in midfield to just gift away possession. He's having a shocker again, is Ollie Dyson so far. That was such a simple pass, but he's done brilliantly now to win it back for York City on the tackle, on the slide. Gives it to Fallowfield, to Batty. Back to Corden and Southend get everyone back behind the ball.
I know where he's at, Ollie Dyson. A minute ago he could have passed the obvious ball, and that time he tried it and it didn't come off for him. He's got to get over it and get on with the game. He's just, decision making has been a bit the opposite of what it should be at the moment in this start of this game.
York City's player of the season, of course, last year, Ollie Dyson, but struggling at the start of this campaign.
Yeah, he's just got to keep trusting himself.
Kennedy appeals for foul against him, not given. It falls to Dyson 30 yards from goal, and it's another terrible pass. He had another simple pass out to the left-hand side. Neil Ardley turns away in disgust, looks to the heaven.
Do you know what I feel for him? Because that was such an obviously bad one. And that is just down to confidence.
He had the chance to take the shot on.
Didn't take it. Didn't want
and then he had such an easy square pass and he just put it straight into touch.
Yeah, and that is, it comes down to the bravery on the ball. And Ollie Dyson, he's got to get over that hurdle. By not being brave, he's made himself look a bit foolish. Do you know what I mean? If he'd have just potted one there, he got over the bar, people give it a no, it's gone. But instead, he chose a soft option and he's lost the ball and made himself look a bit.
The one positive about that, if you can find a positive from it, is at least he put it into touch, because if he'd given away possession, Lati Fairweather, the man who he should have given it to, had burst forward. There was a massive gaping hole down that side. Yeah,
we just got to gather his composure. Much like me just then.
Kouya for York City to follow, and you can hear the angst amongst the York City supporters.
Yeah. We mustn't get angst. At least City are keeping the ball. It's just when you give it away so easily.
City have swapped over here as well now at the back. Tyler Corden has gone to the left of the two centre-backs, and Adam Crooks has come across to the right.
Interesting.
Now, that is Tyler Corden's preferred position, but Adam Crooks now, who's a left-sided, is all the way across on the right-hand side.
Yeah, but maybe they've identified there's an issue there, and Corden is happier. I think it's probably more important than Corden is happier than Crooks with him.
I wonder whose decision that is, if they're allowed to make that decision themselves, or if that's a Neil Ardley decision.
I'm almost certain they'd have had to. I'm sure the manager would have had a say in that. He would not let that happen without his say-so. No chance.
Would that be a general thing, that managers wouldn't allow players? They wouldn't give them that discretion to.
Warner could hook you. Unless before the game they'd say,
playing it around at the back here, York City, and the crowd are getting restless again as they give it to Whitley.
Sometimes before the game they'll say, "Listen, you wingers, you can swap. If you think it's time to swap, go and swap. Just do it. Be random, but
not in such
not
an
centre
important
half.
part of the field." Into the middle of the field to Kennedy, who's come searching for the ball. He gives it to Fallowfield. Fallowfield to Kennedy. Tackle comes in him, but he's done well to win it back off Miley. Is Kennedy. He can come forward. Tackle goes in him. That's a great tackle though from Cav Miley. And Southend again have the ball. Kensdale to the right hand side. Scott Morris. He goes infield to Taylor. Back to Scott Morris. Infield again to Hussein. To Kensdale. The City have calmed it down in this last couple of minutes.
Yes, they have. They have gathered a little bit of composure and just slowing, almost like the express train that is Southend United. They've slowed it down a little bit.
If you missed it earlier, Tadcaster Albion out of the FA Cup. They were leading Chester by a goal to nil at half-time, but beaten by 3-1 eventually. Go through the latest scores of the National League in a second, with Southend passing it around at the back. In fact, just looking, there's only one goal so far in the National League, and that has come at Fylde. They trail at home to Eastleigh by a goal to nil. Two of the other strugglers, along with York City, in the opening weeks of the season, playing each other there. But it's Eastleigh who lead by a goal to nil. Harrogate Town still goalless at Bradford City. There's a real dearth of goals everywhere so far today. Still no goals in the Premier League either in those 3 o'clock. In fact, there is one. It's Brighton who've taken the lead at Old Trafford.
You're kidding.
Despite the changes, Brighton have the lead with Danny Welbeck, of course.
Danny Welbeck.
A former player going back to his old club.
Yeah.
Everyone back for York City as Southend pass it around just outside the penalty area. This is dangerous. City sitting back here. Demetriou tries to feed it through to Fonguk, intercepted by Fallowfield. And now he can try and find Dippo. The referee got in the way though there, Dippo Appigneri. That was not good from the referee, Paul Cooper.
Frustrating. He'll be booking himself.
I wish he would. Miley for Southend. Hussein, Demetriou, Miley, Demetriou. Nice little triangles of play on this near side. Hussein, now he's going to spread the play to the right hand side. To Scott Morris. Had lots of space over there to bring it down. Lays it off to Taylor, puts in the cross from a deep position to the edge of the area. Comes off the header of Crooks, only as far as Miley at this near side. Could have gone anywhere. Into the box to Fonguk. Back to Bridge. Bridge is going to run at Kouya, skips past Kouya. Kouya takes him down. Referee gives the free kick. Just outside the penalty area.
Yeah, they look dangerous on the attack every time they attack Southend. You can see why they've got so many good victories this season already. And City really are going to have to be on the guard, on the metal here.
This is dangerous.
Yeah, Harry Cardwell up there. Yeah, he never leaves me unimpressed, Harry Cardwell. I keep going on about him, but it's always shone.
If he could stay fit, because he had injury issues last year at Southend. He had injury issues at Chorley as well.
Yeah.
He had that short spell in the COVID season where he went on loan to Stockport when the National North stopped and the National League carried on. But I think that's probably what's held him back.
Yeah. How old is he? I don't know. Is he mid to late 20s?
You can have a search in a second.
Yeah, I will do.
Bridge puts in the free kick to this near post, driven in, flicked away, I think off a York City head. It might have been Akinyemi who was back there. And Southend pick up the loose ball again on halfway. Demetriou to Fonguk. Little ball infield to Scott Morris. Demetriou.
Southend moved the ball so quickly, David, and they're all comfortable on it as well. The first touch is lovely. Look.
Yeah. Fonguk. Little ball around the corner. No, he just turns away from Akinyemi. There's not many people can bounce Akinyemi off them and keep hold of possession, but Wes Fonguk did there. And then there's a foul on Kuyar, and City get the play back underway quickly. But it's gone straight back to the centre-backs. And again, you can tell it's nervy because City's first, as soon as those midfielders get the ball, the first thought is, I'm going to go for the easy pass and we're going to go back to the two centre-backs.
Yeah.
As Dyson does there, as Batty did just a second ago. Corner, then tries to play it out to Dyson. Dyson does really well to turn away from Cav Marley. So I feared the worst there for a second. He's broken forward as Dyson, over halfway. Then the Telaus that keeps hold of it for too long. Tackle comes in, and City now on the defensive. Because Dyson was missing from his midfielder after piling forward. Powell at the back, it is 2v2. Powell still got it in the penalty area, takes on the shot, come cross, and it was just behind Cardwell, and it's come across this near side, and Fallowfield collects for York City. Yeah,
it's a good match. If you're for the neutral, this is an exciting football match, but for York City, it's a little bit, nervy.
John Lewis to Kuyar, to Akinyemi.
Now then, he's seen
Dyson.
it.
Again, he missed the pass there and went back to his centre-backs. There was a wide option there from Dyson. Latty Fairweather, Kennedy, Latty Fairweather, infield to Dyson. He's got time this time. What's he going to do with it? He's gone back to his centre-backs again.
He can come to Batty. He doesn't need to go to corner. He can come to Batty. He can miss a pass out, and that's the speed of thought.
Fallowfield down the line, gives away possession. Not a great touch though from Demetriou. Now he just falls to ground. Linesman quite rightly lets play go on. York City pick it up to Akinyemi outside the box. Going to get a shot away here, surely. On his left foot, he's forced away from goal, and he gives it to Latty Fairweather. He's told to shoot by the crowd. He does. And it's into back of the net. What a finish! Thierry Latty Fairweather. A goal from nothing. 30 yards on the angle. He just set it up and just blasted it. And Denny and D just stood there and watched it fly past him, top corner. That is unbelievable from Thierry Latty Fairweather, and once again it's Deepo Akinyemi with the assist. What a goal! City lead by a goal to nil.
Unreal. As soon as he hit it, I knew it was. You know, you got that feeling. He hit it, you knew where it was going. And the keeper, you could have three keepers. They weren't going to save that. We might just have seen a very early contender for goal of the season right there.
Neil Ardley has just turned, looked at me and puffed out both his cheeks and laughed because it was as if it was a picture postcard moment where everyone, including the referee and Thierry Latty Fairweather, he took on the shot and everyone just stood still and didn't move because no one could believe what had happened.
No, absolute rocket. The keeper just watched it sail over his head. He had no chance. What a strike. What a start for City.
Well, will this give them the confidence to go on this week? They took the lead twice last week, were pegged back both times. Can they do better this week?
The thing is, Southend have thrown everything at us for this first 25 minutes and haven't been able to break us down. And somehow, we find ourselves in the lead. Sometimes things are meant to be, and what a strike. And City now have got to be resolute, they've got to be strong. Defend with your lives. You know, it's set up to be hard to beat, so make it hard to beat.
An absolute moment of magic.
Yeah.
It really, really was. Everyone stood still. The goalkeeper didn't dive. The referee just stood there. He just stood there and waited for the players to come and mob him.
Big shout out to Mazkuya, who won the ball, I think, initially, down here on the right-hand side.
And the linesman for not falling for it. Demetriou threw himself to the ground as if there was a push.
Yeah.
And there wasn't.
Yeah. And
but he tried to make out there was a push.
Yeah. And Maz did the hard work. Dippo found the pass, and Latty Fairweather did the rest.
Good tackle from McInerney again there. Kuyar, Batty round the corner to Fallowfield. That's given City a bit of confidence. Ryan Fallowfield on this right-hand side. Gives it back to Batty. Batty turns back in field and gives it to Kennedy, who's come across this right-hand side. Kennedy to Batty. Fallowfield just outside the penalty area to Akinyemi, who tries to turn away from his man. His touch lets him down this time, Dippo. And the yellow shirts have it back. City lead by a goal to nil. BBC Radio York, 28 minutes on the clock. As they try to avoid going rock bottom of the National League.
Well, they've given themselves a chance, David. They've given themselves a chance. What a strike. Big, lots of minutes to go left. Got to defend really well here.
And sometimes that's what it takes. If you are struggling for confidence, there's no real pattern of play. You're on the back foot. one moment of brilliance.
Absolute magic, yeah. I mean, it might just give them that spurt, that belief, and that massive boost of going ahead and against a good team who have had most of the ball, let's be brutally honest.
They've had all of the ball.
Yeah.
Virtually 80%, I reckon, of possession.
But City have hung on in there, and they've done well to hang on in there, and now they've got themselves a chance here.
Cav Miley to Fonguk. Got an overload now on this left-hand side of Southend. Bridge is going to run at Kuyar and go into the penalty area here. So pays it back to Fonguk at the edge of the box. Back to Dimitriou. There's no one there. Too easy. Cross comes in, hits the back. And they win the header as well. Hits the back of Kuyar. They won the header at the back stick. City eventually clear. High into the air. But the yellow shirts have it again, just outside the box, given away by Fallowfield. Gets a second opportunity and finds Kuyar. Kuyar can come forward down the right if he wants, but Bridge has got back in position pretty quickly. Kuyar just holds on to it and then comes in field. Almost gave away possession there. Took a little nick off the yellow shirts. He tries to find corner. Good ball though from corner to the goal scorer Lati Fairweather. He gives it to Kennedy on halfway. City, Neil Ardley wanted it forward faster. Look at him, he's going mad because again they've gone back to the defenders over that far side.
You had to be brave there, Lati Fairweather. I know the manager, once he'd pass it inside, go forward, attack, take the player
with
him.
You. He's bellowing out his Neil Ardley.
Yeah, he knows what he wants.
So frustrated.
Yeah, and it was the right thing to do. He's gone now. Lati Fairweather.
He has, and he has it on halfway.
Yeah.
Gives it to Kennedy.
The move was on, wasn't it? You could see it. Love that.
He may just forgive him because he got the goal.
You'll get away with that one, yeah.
Dyson.
Referee.
John Lewis. We've got a Southend player all over the back of him. Referee allows play to go on. Lati Fairweather on halfway. Ball forward into the middle for Akinyemi to control on his chest. And he gets on the ball as well. Edge of the penalty area. Dipo Akinyemi turns away from the Southend man, and then they just have one too many there as he tries to beat them all. And it's the yellow shirts that come away with it.
Well, I mean, he must be the most confident player in the league at the moment because his assists and goals.
Oh, it's crazy.
Unbelievable.
City have scored 10 goals. He's got four goals himself and 5 assists out of the 10. There's only one goal where he's not been involved.
Unbelievable. I mean, you know, he has been superb, I've got to say. From the moment we saw him down in, was it Wealdstone?
That in itself, though, creates a bit of an issue for York City, doesn't it? Because they will be completely lost at the minute without him.
Yeah.
And he needs a bit of help.
Yeah, he does.
If this continues for much longer, a player of his quality...
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it.
But he will, though, Ian. You get to Christmas...
Yeah. There'll be big clubs.
Those other clubs start sniffing around.
Yeah. We look at the likes of Wrexham when they were sniffing around, Luke Armstrong at Harrogate.
Yeah.
But, clubs in higher leagues, you're right, they start seeing what's happening down below and they take a chance. Well, Dipo, I don't think there's a chance, is he? He seems like the real deal.
He does so far. Space again for Dimitriou just to waltz forward on this left-hand side to Fonguk. Poor touch from him, but it bounces back to Miley. He gives it to Hussein. To Dimitriou. Got Bridge overlapping on this left-hand side. He now gets the ball. They're going to burst forward towards Kennedy. Gets the cross into the middle. Who's where? It's Adam Crooks with a great defensive header.
Really good header from Adam Crooks there. He's watched it onto his head and cleared the ball, but City under pressure.
He might have to do some more in a minute. Hussein to Dimitriou. It's going to come back into that York City box, and it comes now to Powell. Back to goal. Crooks it is again who clears for York City. Akinyemi gets his head to it, helping out the defence, and he just beats Fonguk. To Lati Fairweather, who's run into a dead alley, a blind alley over that far side, and it's the yellow shirts again that have it inside the York City half. The game continues as it did prior to the goal. That one standout moment for York City that's given them lead. Apart from that, it's all Southend United without testing Ryan Whitley. Dimitriou again down that inside left. He gives it to Hussein, who's out wide next time. Hussein just holds on to the ball. Back to Dimitriou. Dimitriou back to halfway, and Kensdale. Done the triumvirate of Essex clubs in Concord, Rangers, Colchester and Southend as Kensdale. He likes that part of the world, clearly.
Home's where the heart is.
Very true, Ian. Southend come forward again, inside right this time. Forward to Cardwell, just brushes Crooks off it, lays it off. Cross comes in from the far side onto the head of Bridge. There's no one there in the middle apart from Batty to clear for York City. Not a great clearance though. Only as far as Marley. Fonguk takes on the shot. Whitley was diving. He took a block though from Cordner, who's a big unit to get past Tyler Cordner. It's back out to the yellow shirts and Bridge on this left hand side. He wants it on his right foot, but he's gone down the line. He's been shepherded out wide by Kennedy, and he wins the first corner of the game.
Yeah, City defending well, David. They are defending.
Well, Kennedy did well because they know he wants to cut in on his right foot, does Bridge, but they showed him down the line.
Yep.
And he's going to take this corner. It's Jack Bridge.
They're going to have to do a whole lot more defending, I think, this afternoon, David.
Raises his right arm, and it comes. Ryan Whitley gathers unopposed. Well played, Ryan Whitley.
Yeah, good hands, came and got it. Now use it properly.
He's holding on to it. Yeah. And Neil Adley's telling him, look, stop, take your time, your time. He's still telling him he wants to ball it out. He's saying, no, stop, Ryan. He's saying, stop, don't panic. Keep hold of it for as long as you possibly can. And now they're playing out again from the back. Gives it to Corner. Oh, Corner too slow. Charged down by Cardwell. Throw into York City deep inside their own half. And now he's getting a bit of a grief here, his Corner, from his manager. He took too long to clear that. Yeah.
Get it out of your feet and clear it. And I think maybe he was getting the message on. He obviously wants Ryan to play from the back, but at the right times. And I think actually that was an occasion where Southend was still all up in our field. Clear it, turn them, get the ball out of the way from our goal.
Fallowfield for York City with the defensive throw-in. A loopy one to Akinyemi. Did it go out of play? It didn't. He finds Kuyar, who finds John Lewis. Not really been involved, John Lewis, so far, but City haven't had the ball. He tries to feed it back through to Kuyar, and Southend get it at the back. And they put that into touch via the head of Ryan Fallowfield. They know it's kept in again by Akinyemi. Now they pick it up to Southend. Fonguk to Hussin. He's tackled by John Lewis. Free kick. And his card-happy referee today, so far, he's kept his cards in his pocket.
Yeah,
35 minutes gone. City lead by a goal to nil. It's a record, though, isn't it? 44 yellows and 5 reds in 6 games.
Is it that many? Is it 44?
3 in this league and 3 in the under-21. So 3 of those games have been under-21s games as well, where you maybe think they wouldn't be as competitive.
Yeah. Taking discipline to new heights.
Leeds under-21s were playing here last night against Colchester United under-21s in a cup match. His team sheet's all over the place when we arrived earlier on. I arrived as well to see the groundsman remarking the lines on the pitch, so they're much clearer today than they were last week. So I saw them doing it. That's despite having a football match here last night. So clearly the message has got out that maybe in future they do need to be a bit clearer after what happened with the Bournemouth goalkeeper last week.
Yeah.
Depot turns away from his man, now tries to feed it through to Kennedy. Not a good pass though from Akinyemi.
You could see what he's trying though, couldn't you?
You could, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to split that defence open. Just didn't quite get it right on that occasion.
You see Darren Curry, he had a prolific career as well, didn't he? Kevin Maher's assistant down there on the Southend bench. Do you remember Darren Curry? Was he son of Tony Curry, I think?
Oh wow, yes. Yeah.
He's just gone back into the bench. I'm sure you'll recognise him.
Yes, Darren Curry, yes, I do. He's the son of Tony was an amazing player.
He was. I'm sure he's. You can have another look for that as well. I'm sure he's Tony Curry's son. At BBC York Sport, if you want to get in touch with us, 81333. Start your message with the word York. Sharon will go through some of your messages at half-time and then, of course, at full-time. West Ham leading Manchester City in the Premier League. That's an interesting scoreline at the
I think I called
Olympic
that
Stadium,
the game, didn't I? Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse with that goal for West Ham. I think that was his second goal since arriving from Southampton. Corner at the back, under pressure from Powell, but he manages to turn, but gives away possession. Sent back again, Ollie Dyson, good header, cushion header to Kuyar. Kuyar round the corner to Batty. Batty goes long, looking for Akinyemi, but gives away possession. Dimitriou has it for the home side, for the away side. They feel as though they are the home side, the amount of possession they've had, though, in this opening 37 minutes. They come forward, Kensdale over halfway, little straight ball to Fonguk, somehow got in between the midfield and the defence. Where was the midfield then?
Again, too open.
And again, it's Adam Cruxwood as well, but then gives away possession to Bridge, edge of the penalty area, inside the penalty area now. He's got overlapping Fonguk. Again, he wants to cut back on that right foot and come towards the edge of the area, try and get a shot away. He's been allowed to. Little back heel to Hussein, cross comes in, cleared by Crooks. He finds Kennedy. Tries to send it forward for John Lewis. John Lewis does well to get there, and then he's pulled down by Dimitriou, and that's a free kick to York on halfway. And the referee may get his notebook out if Dimitriou doesn't drop the ball, which he does. And he's going to have a word with Jason Dimitriou as the referee.
And you can see this ref is itching to get them cards out. He's fighting his own demons. He's thinking, 44 already. I can't give another one, can I?
Well, he hasn't so far.
He's resisted.
Free kick though to York on halfway, and the City again they're taking their time over these set pieces. Understandably, you'd probably suggest. Batty to Dyson, back to Batty. Batty goes to corner. Corner to Crooks. Reminder, Callum Howe not involved in the matchday squad. We understand he's ill, but we'll get confirmation of that from the York City boss, Neil Ardley, at full time. To the right hand side it goes to Scott Morris. He gives it to Taylor. To Kensdale. Southend this time passing it around the back. Has options on this left if he wants. Goes to Fongook instead. Back to Kensdale. Kensdale. Oh, look at the gap again for Powell in behind the midfield. He's allowed to turn as well to Fongook. To this left, that needs sorting.
Yeah.
Bridge.
Happens too often.
Well, it does, especially when you think of City. You've got quite a number of central midfielders in this squad, but Neil Ardley will not allow this to keep happening game after game. It's happened far too often today and last week. John Lewis does want a little ball around the corner to Batty, but he's got man on him. Batty's turned away from Hussein. Batty's still got it on this right side.
Well.
He does do well. Cross to the edge of the box. Give it away to Akinyemi. Akinyemi just couldn't bring it under control. Last-ditch saving tackle from Southend. He did well there, did Batty, on this right-hand side. He did.
It was easy for me. You could see the player on the far side of the pitch. It just needed to fraction a bit earlier, but there was no chance Batty could have done it much earlier, I don't think.
Hussein looking for Powell on the top. Oh, Powell's through.
Dear me.
Oh, he's gone. He's brought him down as he got the ball into the area. Powell should have done so much better. It was so easy, though. Whitley came to meet him and got his fingers to the ball. Great goalkeeping from the York City goalkeeper. To Bridge now on this left-hand side. He's shown the line again by Fallowfield. Then he throws himself to the ground. Again looking for a penalty. Referee waves those away. And to be fair to Bridge, he got straight up.
Yeah. Whitley's done ever so well there, you know. If he times it wrong, it's a penalty.
Yeah. Powell should have done so much better, though. Should have been given the opportunity there.
No, he got in too easily.
He's apologising now, Powell, because he knows he should have done better. Bridge, again on this left-hand side, tries to find Fongook, which he manages to do. He gives it to Cav Miley. Back to Fongook. City now got everyone back out on the edge of their own penalty area. Hussein. He's forced back to Kensdale on halfway. Neil Cox, with his shorts on, but his big thick hoodie, arms crossed. A puff of the cheeks from him. Not sure if he was nervous. Couldn't believe what he was seeing. Oh, he's feeling the chill down there. Neil Ardley's fully wrapped up.
Yeah. I mean, the temperature, it's not going to get warmer, is it?
Not today, it's not.
No.
Not today. We could do with it being warmer on Tuesday night than it was. Well, it will be than it was last year at Oldham in the depths of winter on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That's the next football for you on BBC Radio York. They have it again to Southend on the right-hand side. Well played, Latty Fairweather. Bridge had swapped sides again. Latty Fairweather did well. City dangerous though at the back here, knocking around. Good ball from Dyson to find Kennedy. Kennedy now gets it out in front of him. Ball in field to Batty. Oh, Batty gone to Latty Fairweather. Could have gone forward again. And you heard the anxious moans from the crowd. Crooks to Batty. He gives it to Whitley. Whitley to Cordner. Cordner, the press is on again from Southend. Does well. To the left-hand side. To Crooks. Crooks to Latty Fairweather. He's got some space to manoeuvre forward in. Kennedy. Dyson. Oh, terrible ball. But Cordner's had to go back towards his own goal and brings that down really well, Tyler Cordner. Batty. Back to Cordner. Crooks. Kennedy again. For York City, over the top looking for Latty Fairweather burst ball, but it's a poor ball from Kai Kennedy and goes through. All the way through to Colin and Denny D, who possibly gets his first touch of the ball, apart from getting out of the back of his net.
He saw one fly over his head.
He certainly did.
Yeah, it's basically the story of the half is that Southend have played a lot of the football.
Fongook turns away in midfield past Batty, past Couillard. Look at the gaps. Look at the gaps. Edge of the area. Fongook takes on the shot. Great save, Ryan Whitley. Left hand out to his left-hand side. He pushed it around the post. But the huge gap in the centre of that midfield for Fongook to just turn and run 30 yards towards that York City defence in the penalty area has to be sorted.
Yeah, there's no protection. There's no protection there. I mean, Fongook, was it Fongook?
Fongook, yeah.
Yeah, he just ran from literally the halfway line to the edge of the box, unattended, nothing, no attack, no effort. That's a great save
as well for the first time this afternoon, looking on just to say what is going on. Corner kick, their second, far side, and it comes now from Bridge. Good header cleared by John Lewis. He's managed to find Kennedy as well. A little ball in field looking for Couillard. John Lewis finds Kennedy again. Needs some help now, does Kai Kennedy on the left. Tries to play it ball forward down the line Taylor's there. He gives it back to his goalkeeper. Plays it first time to Dimitriou. 90 seconds to go in this first half. Shouldn't be too much injury time. Be interesting to see how much time the referee adds on for a perceived little bit of York City time wasting at times.
Not noticed it myself.
Kensdale. Oh, he's told them a couple of times to get on with it with throw-ins.
Yeah.
Taylor. Scott Morris. Halfway inside the York City half. City with everyone back behind the ball, apart from Linnell John Lewis. Now he's back as well. As Southend play it to halfway. To Kensdale, the playmaker.
We have become them 2 banks of 4 trying to defend.
We have.
Which I don't mind. They do it right.
Pull ball forward, can't find Cardwell. Whitley clears.
Yep.
Long. That was just let's play the rest of this half down the other end of the field, please.
Yeah, did the right
thing. One goalkeeper
there.
to the other. 30 seconds to go. Bridge, look at the space down this left-hand side for Bridge, and he wanted the ball.
Fallafield's been drawn in, look, onto Hussein, who he needs to be. No one's on Hussein, so Bridge has got acres out here on the left-hand side.
Dimitriou, poor ball. Batty tackles. Sends ball back downfield.
That needs to be looked at because it's so obvious. We can see it from here.
And Bridge was getting really frustrated that he wasn't getting the ball
because he could see that the ball was on.
They're coming down the other side, though, to Fonguk. Just outside the penalty area. Dyson does well to track the run, but he's turned away from Ollie Dyson. Far too easy again. Hussein into the penalty area to Cardwell. His touch isn't the greatest, just the 1 minute. Back to Hussein. He's going to take on the shot left-footed. Great block from Batty, who throws himself in front of it. And then John Lewis puts the tackle in. Kath Miley goes to ground looking for a free kick. Nothing given by the referee. Still down as well is Miley. And Kensdale's going to put the ball into touch. But the referee blows actually before it went anywhere near touch. If Kensdale has it. He shouldn't really do that because it's not a head injury, as the gentleman behind us suggests. There's going to be a short hold-up. I think he's just winded. Yep, he tells the physio not to bother coming on. Fourth officials followed the physio all the way down the side of the touchline here. You need permission for everything these days, don't you?
Crazy. Cav Miley's okay. I think he maybe just got a shock to his ankle or something there.
If his ankle's in the middle of his chest, I think you're right, Ian. So Terry Dolan look-alike just walking down the gangway there to our left-hand side.
Doppelganger.
He is, isn't he?
Quite a few City fans going out for half-time refreshments.
Give away the ball there from the contested free kick. Tackle comes in from Batty on Fonguk. Cleared by Cordner to Akinyemi, who brings it down his chest, turns away from Miley. Akinyemi to the left-hand side. Good ball to Kai Kennedy. Last play of this first half. What can he do? We've played the minute. Kennedy tries to play it back to Akinyemi. He can't get it past Taylor. Now Taylor tries to box in and win Southend a throw in deep inside their own half.
Yeah, just needed to be a little bit better there.
That is the half-time whistle. City lead at the break by 1-0 thanks to a wonder goal from Thierry Latty Fairweather on the angle, 30 yards. He just took one touch to control and belted it into the top corner. Time stood still, everyone stood still, the goalkeeper didn't move. He just stood there waiting for all the York City players to go and mob him. What a goal! But that goal doesn't tell the story because it's been all Southend in that first half, yet City have the lead.
Yeah, Southend clearly a very, very good and well organised side who City have had to be strong against in the defence, and City have been strong in defence.
They've lacked the cutting edge though, Southend.
Yes, they have, and I think it's fair play to City as well. Yes, listen, sometimes they've got through us too easily, but ultimately we've defended with our lives. And then up steps Latty Fairweather for what must be one of the best goals we've seen at this stadium. I'd love to see it back on the video when we get the chance later on. But yeah, the story of the half really is Southend have been the better, more aggressive side, but City have hung on in there and scored an absolute wonder goal.
It means at half-time, Sharon, it's York City 1, Southend United 0.
It's BBC Radio York. I think the players are coming back out on the pitch at Valley Parade. So if you are listening on DAB, you can join Tim Steer and also Paul Bolland. The scoreline in that one is Harrogate Town 0, Bradford City 0. So they go away on DAB. Here on FM, we will of course be concentrating on York City. They are leading 1-0 at half-time against Southend, and the players are back out on the pitch there as well. Let's get across to the LNER Community Stadium and join your commentary team there of Ian Dunn and David Ward.
Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, the players are just coming back out onto the field. Southend out before York City. I'm sure they've had a bit of a flea in their ear from their manager, Kerry Marr, because despite having all the possession in that first half, they really did lack a cutting edge. And I suppose when you're lacking a cutting edge in front of goal, Ryan Whitley's only had the one save to make a really good save from Fonguk when he was allowed the freedom of the LNER to waltz forward through the centre of the pitch. You always leave yourselves open to a wonder strike, and that is what we got from Thierry Latty-Fairweather in that first half. So the two sides quickly run through it. York City 4-4-2, Ryan Whitley's in goal. Back four, Fallowfield, Cordner, Crooks, Latty-Fairweather, Batty, Dyson, Kuyar, Kennedy in midfield, John Lewis and Akinyemi up front. The visitors, Ndengen D in goal. They are in 3-5-2. Defenders Dimitriou, Kensdale and Taylor. Scott Morris and Bridge are the wing backs. Fonguk, Miley and Hussin. Powell and Cardwell up top as Southend get the game underway, shooting towards the empty north stand. York City shooting towards the south stand, as you maybe heard the York City announcer say as the two teams came back out onto the field, and Southend immediately have possession and they play it back to Ndengen D, who really, I think he counted 4 touches in that first half, and the first one was to get the ball out of the back of his net after 26 minutes, and he gives away the ball from the as he played it back there straight to a York City man, but the Deepo Akinyemi can't make much use of that, and it's Southend who clear, but not great. Straight back to a York City shot on the right hand side. Fallowfield bursts forward past Bridge, gets across into the box, cut out at the near post by Kensdale. Hussein appeals for handball from the south stand, not given by the referee. Scott Morris gives it to Taylor on this right hand side for Southend. He throws himself to ground. He was caught by Kennedy, and that'll be a free kick to Southend just outside their own penalty area. Ian Dunn, what do you think the York City manager Neil Ardley will have said at half time? Because despite having the lead, they saw virtually none of the football in that opening period. Yeah,
I don't think he'll try to bluff his players. He knows they've been second best in that first half, but they've given themselves a real good opportunity of getting some points out of this match.
Do you think it'll be a case where both managers were relatively unhappy? So they come forward down the left-hand side. Cordner dives in on Cardwell. He could get the book here. He does. The first man to go into the book is Tyler Cordner for a challenge. The ball was going dead as well. It's a silly challenge, really, from Tyler Cordner. He's put his side in a bit of danger over there. Neil Ardley, because City didn't really play in that first half and were very sloppy in midfield, there were gaping holes again in the midfield, and Southend, because of that lack of cutting edge, they didn't really test Ryan Whitley apart from the one occasion. Yeah. From
Southend's point of view, they've had a lot of possession, but not really affected our goal. Ryan made 2 really good saves, admittedly, but from York's point of view, they just need to be a lot more composed on the ball and play in the right areas, and some of the decision making maybe needs to be tightened up. But he'll be happy with the determination not to concede, definitely, but he will be unhappy with the fact that we didn't have enough of the ball at home where Southend did. But he knows this is a project, so long term he'll get there, I'm sure.
Free kick just outside the penalty area, far side, curled in now. It's a deep one from Bridge, the back stick, it comes off Latty-Fairweather with the last. That'll be a corner kick. The referee doesn't really have a clue. He's guessed, he's got it right in the end. Tyler Cordner, the first man then to go into the book here for either side today. That's his second yellow card of the season. York City haven't had a corner yet in this game. This is Southend's third. Bridge comes across from this near side. Going to be an outswinger. He stands by the assistant. Raises his right arm. And it comes now. It's a flat one to the near post. Cardwell heads it to Fonguk. City struggling to clear. Appeals for handball from York City. Goes behind for another corner kick. Bit scrappy back there.
It looked like we were so worried to put a challenge in, because Fonguk was breaking into that 18-yard box, and the slightest
was Akinyemi, wasn't he, who was back there. He's got all the assists so far, many assists for York City. He didn't want to have an assist for a Southend goal by giving away a penalty.
No word, no.
Bridge, this one's a deeper one to the middle. Corner heads that clear as far as Dimitriou. City now, everyone back behind the ball, remember, from the corner kick. Taylor to this right-hand side to Bridge. Just outside the penalty area, he bursts forward. Kennedy tries to stop him. Little through ball, somehow managed to find Scott Morris. He gets the cross in, it's blocked by Akinyemi, who's still back there. And City through Dyson. Oh, Dyson's given possession straight away to a yellow shirt. A continuation, really, of his game.
He's having one of those days, Ollie Dyson, where nothing seems to go right for him.
Dimitriou, look at the space again for Dimitriou to come forward to the edge of the area. He gives it to Powell on the left-hand side. His first touch wasn't the greatest. So he's let York City get everyone back in position again to Kensdale, 35 yards from goal, centre of the field. York City just lining up on the edge of their own penalty area. Played down the side to Hussin. He lays it off back to Scott Morris. In it comes now. Poor cross in. It's over the Ryan Whitley's bar and onto the roof of the net.
Yep, got it all wrong there, Southend, thankfully for City, but
it's a continuation.
It's following the pattern of that first half, really, where Southend have a lot of the ball, they're getting it wide, and they're testing York City without really hurting us so far, touch wood. They're testing York City there.
Neil Ardley's gone to sit down on his bench, and he's left his two assistants up on the giving away possession again. Was it Batty, I think, this time, with the guilty party? Southend edge of the area to Powell, left-hand side. Powell, little step over, gets the shot right-footed. Oh, it took a deflection. Whitley has to dive to his right and palms it out for a corner kick.
Yeah. Hey, listen, he's took some stick, Ryan Whitley. He has pulled off 3 saves now that, yes, you would expect you'd want them to do it, but he's done it. He's done the right things. He pulled off a good save
as well last week. It's the kicking and the distribution and giving away possession for the second goal. I think he was criticised last week.
Yes, he was, and rightly so. They're the things he's got to work on. But ultimately, as a shot stopper, he's certainly got something.
Ardley sent out Alex Hurst to warm up on this near side. He's just got the bib on. He's down to his shorts, as Alex Hurst. He's ready if he's needed.
Yeah, well, Alex Hurst is surprised. He did well when he came on last week.
And it comes to that far side. Whitley, both hands to it to fist it out. Doesn't clear his penalty area, though. It's going to go back to Bridge. Near the corner flag. Can Kennedy stop the cross coming in? No, he can't. In it comes now. Headed clear by corner, but again, City got everyone back in their own box, so it's just going to come immediately back. Taylor, Demetriou, Fonguk on the left-hand side. Gets it on his right foot. Little ball in field to Cav Miley, who was struggling with injury at the back end of the first half, but it seems perfectly fine now. Round the corner it goes. Cav Miley goes for the little return ball. Intercepted, though, by York City, and it's picked up by Mosiah Kuyar. Kuyar should have given it to Lati Fairweather. Lati Fairweather wanted it. He gave it to Crooks instead. Now Crooks tries to find Lati Fairweather. Kennedy's going to get this, and he's going to be flagged offside. Don't kick it away. Oh, you idiot.
What are you doing?
And he does. He backheels it into touch. Yellow card. The clearest yellow card you're going to see all year. What was he doing? We could see it before he even did
thinking.
it.
Just lack of thought. You've just cost yourself a yellow card.
Look at Neil Ardley straight onto him, said, "You do not do that." We could lip read him. He told Kai Kennedy straight away.
Well, I think Neil Ardley will be the kind of manager that will not want that to go on. That's a waste of a yellow card. Absolute waste. Well, of course, one more silly tackle. Anything could happen. He ends up off the pitch.
I think he's the one man in the starting 11 today who didn't have a yellow card to his name so far this season, so he sorted that out as Kai Kennedy.
Maybe he was after one.
Join all his mates.
Yeah.
Kennedy. The danger is, though, it only takes one slightly mistimed challenge with this referee and you're off.
Yeah.
And he leaves York City in an almighty heap of trouble. Fallowfield does well. Skips past Bridge. Gives it to Akinyemi. Falls kindly to Akinyemi a second time. Then he slips on the surface. They had the sprinklers out at half-time. The end that York City are attacking. So much so they did their first time... They did sort of like a game with it was Rob Lee, actually, who many York City supporters will know, and they had to go and trying to score a goal from the corner flag down the far end of the field in front of all the away fans, not in front of the home fans, because they put the sprinklers on in that end of the field. He didn't score for those that are interested.
Right. I was going to ask.
He didn't look like scoring either, which the Southend fans thought was absolutely hilarious. Lati Fairweather to Dyson. He runs down a blind alley, gives away possession, edge of the Southend penalty area. Crooks to Batty. Batty does really well here. Batty does really well. He's been pulled all over the place by Hussein. Free kick to York City.
Yeah, good strength there by...
And again, Lati Fairweather wants to take it quickly. Neil Ardley said, no, wait.
There's a time and a place for that. I'm sure a lot of the football Neil Ardley want to play will be quick and get the momentum built, but he knows that this game's a tough one. Just try to slow it down in the right times, and this is one of those moments where slow the ball down.
City still lead then by a goal to nil. We played 8 minutes in this second half on BBC Radio York at BBC York Sport. 81333. Start your message with the word York if you want to text us. Batty, free kick towards the edge of the penalty area. Corner wins the header. Into the penalty area it goes. Cleared by Demetriou. Corner wins a second header. It's going to come back to Batty. He's going to send it out to this left-hand side. As he knows, he takes on the shot, drives it in. Blocked by the Southend man at the edge of the area. Falls to Kuyar. He gives it to Kennedy. Kennedy on the left, cuts in field, puts a deep cross into the box. John Lewis gets his head to it. It's high and over the bar.
Yeah, a little bit better from City, showing a little bit of attacking momentum themselves there. Kai Kennedy whipping the ball in for John Lewis on his head.
Crystal Palace have taken the lead at Villa Park in the Premier League. Edouard with that goal. Elsewhere, Manchester City have equalised at West Ham. Not Erling Haaland, and he didn't get the assist either, Ian.
Oh, wow.
So we're safe there, taking the captaincy off him. Yeah. On the left-hand side, Bridge down the line to Fonguk, just outside the York City penalty area again, in front of the Southend fans. Oh, he skinned Batty there as Fonguk, but he's overplayed it, and it goes behind for a goal kick. And now Batty's pointing at the referee saying you should book Fonguk for kicking the ball away, but all he did was blast it against the advertising hoardings and back into play. Completely different to when Kai Kennedy backheeled it, wave to stop the quick free kick.
And Batty didn't wave the, thankfully didn't wave the
no, but he was making it clear that he thought he should be booked without flashing the imaginary card. Harrogate Town on DAB, of course, 0-0 at Valley Parade against Bradford City. I'm sure there'll be a huge crowd there for that one. Especially a huge home crowd, of course. City done well over there for Kuyar and win a throw in deep inside the Southend half. Ryan Fallowfield comes across to take. And he takes it to Kuyar, back to Fallowfield. Fallowfield to John Lewis, to Kuyar. Kuyar's control lets him down. Then they've given it away though, Southend, to Latty Fairweather. He gives it to Batty. Batty to Kuyar. Little back heel trying to set Latty Fairweather away as he provided the overlap. York City have another throw in. There's no thought though here to put this into the box, is there, from York City? There's no thought of any sort of long throw. Not really, no, if City have anyone could take a really long throw here at the minute. But they've lost the option of any cross into the box that Howe, and that danger that Callum Howe he's been pulled all over the place there is Deepo Akinyemi. That should be a penalty. His shirt looked as though it's been ripped off his back, and the referee just waves away the appeals. That looked like a penalty to me, although Akinyemi is not really he's having a little bit of a moan, but not much of a moan. The linesman, you think, could have seen that as well from the far side of the field.
It looked a penalty all day to me. I might be wrong.
I thought it did as well.
Yeah.
But you go off player reactions. There hasn't been a massive reaction from the York City players.
Have we gone 4-2-3-1 here, by the way?
They're playing out from the back here at Southend, almost giving away possession. The goalkeeper there, Dimitri's been blocked by Kuyar. This is better from York City. They do win possession. To Batty, goes to the corner flag, tries to get the cross into the box. Akinyemi challenges with the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper got just enough on it, and Southend are going to clear to Fonguk.
It's good stuff from
City's
York City.
best spell of the whole game this last couple of minutes. Fonguk, though, looking, waltzing through that midfield again, picks out Powell on the left-hand side. The game suddenly opened up. Powell cross into the box. Oh, cut out there by Adam Crooks. Right place, right time. He finds Fallowfield. He did really well. Now to Batty. There is room for York to come forward if they want to. Batty to Akinyemi, cushions it to John Lewis, to this left-hand side to Kai Kennedy. There's space again for York City. He's got Batty Fairweather outside him, gives it to Akinyemi. Akinyemi tries the ball back. Oh, he missed the shot. Kuyar takes on the shot, it's blocked. Completely miskicked. Fresh air shot from John Lewis.
What brilliant football from York City. Brilliant football, but this game's very open right now, David. Very open.
There's a couple of times John Lewis has done that this season. Completely did really good area on the penalty spot. And now they're piling forward here. Southend are allowed to run for miles again. Cav Miley to the left hand side. Cardwell saved by Whitley. City struggling to clear. They're going to eventually through Dyson. And again, room for City now to move forward. Pinball from one end of the field to the other. Kennedy's beaten to it in the tackle, and Miley comes forward for the away team. Taylor to Hussein, headed clear by York City as far as John Lewis. He gives it to Kennedy. What has happened this last couple of minutes, Ian Dunn?
Absolutely gone crazy.
City giving it away so easily again, this near side. Kennedy, the guilty culprit this time. Back to Taylor, infield to Hussein. Little ball round the corner to Miley. Tries to feed it back to Hussein. Latty Fairweather's there. Gives it to Whitley under pressure. Well done, and Whitley just puts it into touch on this near side.
That's all he could do is put under pressure there. Special mention to Kai Kennedy, David. 3 times he ran the length of the pitch. 3 times. I don't know if you noticed. Once to defend, once to attack, then he was back in to defend again for his team. Excellent work from him. He'll be shattered right now, but he's got to take a deep breath and get back on it.
You can hear the Southend fans far side of the field. Good work from John Lewis to put pressure on the Southend defender there, Kensdale, and they've been forced back to their goalkeeper.
Yeah, Kai Kennedy's energy there was, his energy levels through the roof. Just getting his breath back in now, bless him.
Almost giving it away at the back again at Southend here. Good pressure from Akinyemi.
City, it's almost if they're thinking, well, do you know what, we're going to have to fight fire with fire here, because if we sit back, they're going to take us.
Fonguk skipped past Fallowfield, that far side of the field. Batty's there to provide the defensive solidity, though. Ball goes into touch, throw in Southend, and it's going to be Zebra that's first to come on here for York. For Kennedy, I presume.
Is it Kennedy? I don't know if he's shattered or...
I think he's shattered. Yeah. And he's also on a yellow card.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Putting a heck of a shift just in that passenger play alone there, Kai Kennedy. He gets he's earned his rest. The manager gave him a shake on the head.
Right, where's Siziba going? Siziba's going far side, Kuyar's coming across this near side. So Kuyar's swapping wings, it's a straight swap, but Kuyar's coming over here and Siziba's far side. I think City still are 4-4-2 here.
Do you think? It looked 4-2-3-1 for a spell there.
It did.
John Lewis is
deep. Just behind Dippo, but I think that's probably because they've got a throw in deep in their defensive third here, haven't they?
I don't know.
You might be right.
I think as well, having John Lewis in that sort of withdrawn role, because their number 17 is getting on the ball. Cav Miley
as well.
Here we go.
Breaks forward to the left-hand side, then doesn't do so well as he puts it straight into touch.
Yeah, Cav Miley's getting on the ball from the defence. In Acres, as no one can get near him. So maybe John Lewis has been tasked with just dropping in on him and just stopping, just cutting that ball out.
Far side of the field, the visitors have the ball. Taylor, Scott Morris directly in front of us in the east stand. He gives it to Cav Miley. To Kensdale. Remember, City lead by a goal to nil. Thierry Lati Fairweather. Not many people have had him down as first goal scorer today. Fonguk round the corner to Cardwell. Cardwell turns away from two men, opens up his own bit of space, lays it off to Bridge. Bridge bursts into the penalty area, now gets the cross in, headed clear by Cordner. John Lewis blocks off his man. A referee allows play to go on because Dimitriou has it for Southend. He gives it down this far side. The Southend player throws himself to ground looking for the free kick. Nothing happening there. That was a dive. You were looking for that. And now City are able to come forward. It was Scott Morris who was looking for it. Now Kuyar bursts forward. Scott Morris is pulling his shirt. The referee seen him and Scott Morris is going to go into the book. A mixture of the dive and the very little pull of his shirt. And he gets the yellow card. He's saying pulling, he's telling him it's the yellow. It's soft, very soft, but it's a yellow card according to the referee.
Yeah, and certainly City, I mean, you hear about the fans as well, the atmosphere is just starting to heat up again. City putting up much more of a fight here in this last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, it's been an improvement.
Yeah.
In the second half. Free kick then on halfway on this left-hand side for Batty. No sign of the dead leg that he had last week, which is good to see. Batty lifts the free kick up towards the edge of the area. Over the head of Crooks, comes into the penalty area from a Southend head. Akinyemi gets past his man, and on the turn from 4 or 5 yards, all he can do is hit it high and wide on the angle.
He's such a handful though for the defenders. They don't know where he's coming at. He's never mind, he's strong, but he's athletic as well, isn't he? He's very, very agile. Got his shot wrong there, but he earned himself. He earned himself the opportunity.
He is the only man to have played every game, every minute of every game for York City this season. I imagine that if he doesn't get injured, that record will continue the whole season long for Dipo Akinyemi.
Oh yeah, I think it'd have to be an injury for us not to have him in the starting lineup.
Well, until we reach FA Trophy time, probably.
Of course,
might give him a rest.
Yeah,
a rest then. Scarborough were trailing in the FA Cup, second qualifying round at Farsley Celtic by a goal to nil. Still trailing, I'm hearing. Thrown to York City, deep inside their own half. Lati Fairweathers takes down the line. John Lewis flicks it on only as far as Cav Miley. It gets forward to Cardwell. Tackle comes under him from Crooks. Going to be under the corner, is it? No, it's a throw-in.
Adam Crooks has gone about his game really well today, you know, David. Just some of the tackles, the blocks, getting his body in the way, winning headers. So important for a centre half.
Darren Curry's not happy with the fourth official. They thought there was a pull on the shirt there of Cav Miley, not given. So the throw-in about to be taken by Scott Morris. This one will be a long one. He feints to go short, but I'm sure it's going to be long, and they get ready to make a change as well. He does end up going short. Oh, they've worked it well, actually. Puts the cross in. Doesn't beat the first man. City don't clear, though. And then Powell, who does look like a little bit of a weak link at times in that Southend strike force. Tackle comes in over there from Ryan Fallowfield. Powell couldn't do anything at all with it.
No cut.
Gives it to Akinyemi, who's got space. First touch wasn't the greatest, but he still manages to turn, does Dipo Akinyemi. Spreads it to this left-hand side to Lati Fairweather. He's got Kuyar outside him. He bursts forward, does Lati Fairweather. He's fancying this. Now he goes to Kuyar. He's told to shoot by the crowd, Lati Fairweather.
Oh, it's good.
John Lewis round the corner, but it's too far ahead of him. Oh no, he keeps it in. Lati Fairweather almost gave up on it and then decided to go for a second time and does keep it in.
Go on,
and he's brought down by Scott Morris. Skips past him into
Oh,
penalty
yes.
area. Still got it, Lati Fairweather.
Oh!
Shoots! Oh, great save. It's near post. What work from Thierry Lati Fairweather. The confidence that the goal has given him. He beat 3 men on the byline, managed to turn inside and get his shot away. York City win their first corner.
Well, he sent one for chips, said to the other, get some fish, and said to the other one, get me some scraps, and then you get me some gravy while you're down there. He's took
Gravy on your fish and
everybody.
chips?
Not
Curry
for me,
sauce,
not
Ian?
for me, but
Curry
apparently,
sauce every day of the
kids like it. But that was absolutely brilliant football from Lati Fairweather, and good save from the keeper that was going in.
Batty, York City's first corner kick of the game in the 65th minute. He raises both arms. In it comes now. It's a deep one. York City man on the floor. It's Ollie Dyson looking for a penalty, nothing given. All the way across the far side corner, keeps it in play. Puts the cross in again onto the head of Crooks. He's going to come across this near side to John Lewis. He has to give it back to Batty. He puts the third cross in into the middle onto the head of Dyson. It's a poor header and it's well wide of goal. Oh, it might have been Crooks who got the final touch on that.
Yeah, he did, I think. Yeah, just got it wrong. But City have been so much better, much more aggressive in their attacking this last 5-10 minutes.
It's Jack Wood who's about to come on, the midfielder, bought from Tunbridge Angels. Sophie Purvis's club, of course, now.
Of course, yes, yeah. That'll be interesting to see how he plays.
He's come on for Callum Powell, no real surprise.
Jack Wood replacing 11 Callum Powell.
The former Kettering man struggled really to get involved for Southend. Scott Morris is changing his boots here for Southend, but he's doing it on the pitch and he's been told to get off by the fourth official. He's got to be careful because he's already on a yellow card and now they're down to 10 men temporarily. Into the middle of the park it goes, giving away possession of Southend to John Lewis. He can't control the ball first time. Scott Morris can't do up his boots, so he's still off the field. Lati Fairweather tries to feed it through to Dyson. It's intercepted and the yellow shirts have it. Hussin just short of the centre circle, gives it back to Taylor. Scott Morris still not being allowed on. Down the line it goes for Wood, who's just come on. Wood tries to turn away from Lati Fairweather, but he does well to stick to his task. Still Scott Morris hasn't tied up his boots properly. Into touch it goes, York City throw-in. Sorry, Southend United throw-in. Scott Morris still not allowed to come on. Now he is. First thing's going to be to take the throw-in, but the referee's assistant, the fourth official, is telling him now you can come on. They're not talking to each other here, the officials, are they?
Neil Hadley there in John Lewis's ear. Really appreciative of the effort John Lewis was putting in to win the ball back.
Tackle at the edge of the area, City win the ball back. Now this space for Ziziba to burst forward. He's got options either side with Akinyemi and John Lewis. Ziziba centre of the pitch, still got it. Can he play it through to John Lewis? He can, but John Lewis's touch is terrible again. And Southend are able to clear.
Has to be better. Has to be better on the edge of the box.
Cardwell to Miley. This is a really exciting game halfway through this second half. York City lead by 1-0.
Yeah, very open match this, David. Both teams having a go.
But at least both teams are having a go.
Absolutely.
Left hand side for Bridge in front of the Southend United fans. Infield to Miley. He gives it to Hussin. City, everyone bar Akinyemi back behind the ball. Guarding the edge of their penalty area once again. Spread out to the right hand side to Scott Morris. Cross into the box. Flicked away by Fallowfield, far side.
Good ball in. Good ball in. No one there for Southend. They'll be annoyed with that because it was a lovely cross. And Ryan Fallowfield dealt with it really well.
They've got it. Fonguk just outside the penalty area, comes infield. Takes a ricochet, gets it back. Does Fonguk. Miley down the line to Bridge. Fallowfield's done well to follow him. Holds him up by the corner flag. Gets the tackle in as well and wins it back for York City. Batty turns one way, then to the and goes up towards halfway. Dippo just brushes his man off again. Not once, but twice. Akinyemi takes on his man, skips past him. Down the line, he needs a bit of help. He's got John Lewis in the centre. Ball into the middle, just ahead of John Lewis. And John Lewis isn't going to be able to get there, is he? He will keep it in play by the corner flag.
Brilliant.
He lays it off to Kuyar. Kuyar Square ball to Dyson. Dyson tries to take on the shot, and he does. And it's high and it's wide, and it's a goal kick.
But better from Dyson. He trusted himself. He was brave. He thought, I'm having a shot. It's opened up. Yes, it's gone over the bar. But look, he's getting a round of applause for the football.
Fourth officials
there was
in the
brilliant.
York City box down here because there's 3 of them up in that box, and you're not allowed 3 up.
Yeah, Akinyemi again. Superb strength, determination to beat his man. And the ball was just a bit ahead of John Lewis in that penalty box for York City.
But
Good
Taylor,
stuff.
For Southend, they still insist on playing out from the back. 21 minutes to go. Long diagonal ball from Taylor to Bridge, brought down immaculately. Far side. Now he's going to run at Fallowfield just outside the penalty area, into the penalty area. Puts a cross in.
Good
Whitley gathers
hands.
at his near post. Great hands, Ryan Whitley.
Yeah, really good. That's what you want to see. And suddenly, I don't want to speak too soon. There's an air of confidence around what City are doing here. The players look confident. The passes are finding a red shirt. It's just that little bit sharper, that little bit more, what's the word? Composed.
Batty to Siziba. John Lewis, Siziba.
Look, here
Batty.
we go. Brilliant.
He spreads it to the left-hand side. Lots of space for Lati
Love
Farah
it.
to come forward if he wants to. Holds it up. Gives it to Kuyar. Takes it on the half-turn. Gets away from his man. Out to this left-hand side. Into touch it goes. York City throw-in.
And the harder they're working, the more composed they are, they get them little bits of luck where it goes off for a City throw-in, not a Southend one.
Hurst is about to come on for York City.
I mean, that's an attacking option, I think. That's an attacking
Who
substitution.
will he come on for, do you think? Kuyar?
I would imagine
Will it be another
Kuyar.
straight swap?
I would think so. Kuyar's put an awful lot of effort into this match. He's played well. He's not getting brought off because he's played badly, but maybe just
Corner,
fresh energy.
ball down the
he's in.
middle, looking for Akinyemi. He's having his shirt pulled, just couldn't get there. In fact, the referee's going to give the free kick just outside
he's
the
off
area.
then.
He
He's
may
off.
be sent off.
He's off.
Free kick, red card! Red card to the Southend defender. Pulling
a red
back
card.
Akinyemi as he tried to burst forward. It's Taylor. We know the referee loves a red card. He's got it out of his pocket. Southend are down to 10, and York City have a free kick 3 yards outside the penalty area. It's soft again.
Well, it is and it isn't. I thought Akinyemi was having his shirt pulled off his back.
I did as well. He definitely had a bit of a tug.
So if it's a foul, if that is what he's done, it's
The question
a red
is,
card.
would he have got there?
Well,
The
he's-
ball was overhit and it went through to the goalkeeper.
We'll never know that, but he was the last man, and he's pulling Akinyemi's shirt. So yeah, I'll have to see it again. However, it gives City a real opportunity, and I think we know who's going to step up and take this free kick, David.
Well, yeah, that's 6 reds in 7 games this season for Paul Cooper.
Yeah. Was that a soft one or not? I really would have to see it again.
I think
he was
it's
pulling his
soft,
shirt.
but I can sort of see why he's given it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. He's pulling his shirt. He's the last man. His question then is Akinyemi going to get the ball or not?
Right, York are making a change before the free kick's taken. It's actually the goal scorer, Thierry Latifairweather. Listen to this reception for the number 36. Off he comes. Hurst comes on. So Hurst will play wing back or left back here for York City.
Right. Well, he's adept at it. He can do that role.
And Akinyemi has the free kick. 21 yards out, just left of centre.
I fancy him here.
A huge wall. There's a 4-man wall, but they've got the 4 tallest players. There's the referee's whistle. Here he comes. Dipo Akinyemi, right-footed, 2-yard run up into the wall. It goes. Scott Morris blocks it, and it rebounds out of the box to Batty, far side of the field. So York City leading by a 0-0, up against 10 men now of Southend. Can they see this one out?
Batty's been outstanding, today.
He has.
He's been all over the pitch, dominated that midfield.
Especially
in
second
the
half.
times when needed, especially second half. First half, we mustn't forget, first half we got a bit overrun in there, but whenever he gets on the ball, he just has that air of confidence about him. And he's growing into it as well. That's the thing, he's growing into the football.
Fallowfield to Batty. Batty
go.
takes on his man. I'm trying to think, is this the first time City have come up against 10 this season? I know City have had a few players sent off, so have played with 10, but I think it may be the first time an opposition player's been sent off. If that's wrong, someone will let us know. At BBC York Sport, 81333 on the text. Start your message with the word York. Cardwell bursts forward, edge of the penalty area, square ball to Hussein. He plays it to Fonguk, shot comes in. It's easy for Whitley.
Yep, and City, listen, this is a Southend side that still think they can get something from the game, I reckon, but City's got to be good defensively.
Southend have gone to a back 4. Bridge is now going to play at left back. I've just seen the call come across and he's been told to drop back, so they're playing a flat back 4 now at Southend, and obviously only going to play with one up front. That man will be Cardwell. Woods dropped back into this left-hand side. So it's a 4-4-1.
City really against the 10 men. They need to be patient. Keep the ball moving sharply. Make Southend work ever so hard to get the ball back, and then hit them on the break.
Whitley.
It's easy from here.
Clears for York, down the centre of the field. John Lewis controls on his chest, but it bounces off him, but he does well to lay it off to Batty. Batty to Fallowfield, on halfway, right-hand side. Plays it down the line for Ziziba. Can he keep it in play? He will keep it in play, Ziziba. Round the back, he's got players in the middle as well. Now he cuts in field into the penalty area. Can he pick out a man? He does! Kuya! Messiah Kuya with the tap-in, but that was all because of the ball in from Xander Ziziba, and City have a second. They lead by 2-0. Will this be the afternoon? Finally, at the 9th time of asking, where they taste victory, Ian Dunn.
Oh, I hope so, David. I hope so. They're giving themselves every chance. With 15-20 minutes left to go, they're giving themselves a chance. Ryan Fallowfield, superb ball down the right-hand side, and Xander Ziziba using his pace, jet-heeled, kept the ball in, and you know what? I thought he held on to it too long. He didn't. He knew exactly what he was doing. He's got to the byline and he's pulled it back, and Maz Kuya, lovely finish. What a lovely finish from Maz Kuya. Super.
It was a good ball down the line from Fallowfield as well. He thought it was overhit and he was going to go into touch, but Ziziba didn't give it up.
Yeah, lovely ball from Fallowfield. It all starts there.
And look at the instructions to Batty from Neil Ardley and Neil Cox.
Well, you keep the ball
hold.
Now.
You just hold.
Yeah, keep the ball, dictate play, make Southend work hard. It really doesn't matter how you do it, just keep the ball away from Southend. They're going to have to work hard with 10 men. Gaps will open up, but we don't need to force the issue here now.
I've just watched Kevin Moore as well, just telling his side just not to lose their shape, not to do anything silly in these last few minutes, even though they're 2 down. They are going to make another change. Fonguk's coming off and Dan Mooney, the striker's coming on. They'll feel as though everything's gone against them today, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, they started off ever so brightly that first half. They were superb, but City hung on in there. They were strong defensively. Ryan Whitley had to pull off a few good saves, but City have definitely grown into this match, Dave. And I don't just mean because of the 10 men. I think that obviously that's helped a little bit in the last few minutes, but the second half there were definite signs of improvement.
Well, my dad's on holiday at the minute. He's listening in from the Bahamas
on
a cruise, so he'll be enjoying what he's hearing. The sad news is, of course, Dad, that you've been at every other game and they haven't won one, and you've not come and they have. Oh. So he's banned.
He'll have to go to the Bahamas every week.
He's not here for Oldham on Saturday as well. On Tuesday, sorry, so that's good news for everyone else. Southend have it at the back with Scott Morris. Miley. My son's not bothered coming today as well, so maybe he'll be banned.
He missed a treat.
Sadly, he is going on Tuesday night. Down this right-hand side.
All might be revealed.
Come for do Southend. They've done well as Wood, and he lays it off into the centre to Mooney in the York City penalty area. Great tackle from Ollie Dyson.
Well done.
Not once, but twice. Brilliant from
Well
Dyson.
done.
Now he picks out a good pass as well to John Lewis. John Lewis gives it to Akinyemi, who's tight on this left-hand side touchline. He's going to run now at the centre-back. He runs at Kensdale.
Oh, what a goal!
Ziba! 3-0! What a goal from York City! Again, brilliant ball in outside of his right foot from Akinyemi. And Ziba calmly slots it under the goalkeeper. It's all coming right for York City.
Wow.
They lead by 3-0.
Unbelievable. And it was all about oh my word, Dippo again. We just keep saying his name, don't we? But Dippo Akinyemi, he's got this ball on the left-hand side, and I think it was outside of his right foot. He's bent the ball right behind the defender. Delicious cross. And Sanders is about, I say all he needed to do was hit the ball, but it's never that easy, as we know. But he made it look easy. The ball was on a plate, and Sanders Zizibar finished it off. That was absolutely fantastic football from York City, and Dippo Akinyemi in particular. Outstanding.
And they've just stopped celebrating in front of the South Stand. The referee's gone to break that up. But what a goal from York City. Brilliant play from Ollie Dyson as well. First of all, we've got to remember, Ian, down here on the left-hand side.
Brilliant play. Yeah, it's absolutely right to mention it as well, because he's had a tough afternoon, but his work rate, that's the one thing he never lacks, his work rate and his belief in his effort. For me, he's got to be a bit braver on the ball at times, but sometimes that can just be bad luck as well. But his work rate was always there, and he was absolutely instrumental in York City getting that goal, because without it, we don't break as quick. But Akinyemi, really, once the ball got to his feet, you felt something was going to happen, and boy oh boy did it ever.
And now Dan Batty is being substituted. Paddy McLaughlin's coming on in place of him. Another standing ovation for Dan Batty here at the LNER. So we've got 12 minutes plus injury time to go. Even York City surely can't throw this one away, Ian.
Don't say that. But Dan Batty was outstanding. I mean,
3-0 against 10 men, if they do. This will be down as one of the worst afternoons in a long, long time. We've had a few.
But no, I felt there's an air of confidence around the team at the moment, and for the last 15-20 minutes it's been there. Something has switched on in this York City side in this last part of the match. I think 10 men, listen, it's helped a little bit, but the signs were there. They definitely were there. I'm not imagining it.
He's worked wonders at half-time here.
Yeah, well, he has. He's made he said something that's struck a chord with the players, because it has been a different team this second half. Much
McLaughlin
better.
just holds on to the ball. Can't pass back to Crooks. Bradford City 0, Harrogate Town 1, I am hearing. We'll run through the other National League scores in a second. City just knocking it around at the back. Fylde 0, Eastleigh 2. Aldershot 1, Gateshead 0. Bromley 3, Oldham 0. He's a man under pressure. Here's David Unsworth, the Oldham manager. Will he still be in charge come Tuesday? Let's wait and see what the next couple of days brings. But now City will be going there full of confidence and up against a manager that is under pressure if he's still in charge.
Exactly, yes. And this is a City side, it is. The confidence is there.
Ebbsfleet 0, Chesterfield 0, Halifax 0, Dorking 1, Hartlepool 0, Woking 2, Maidenhead 0, Borehamwood 1, Oxford City 0, Dagenham 0, Rochdale 3, Barnet 2, Wealdstone 0, Altrincham 0. Latest scores in the Premier League as Southend knock it around at the back. Crystal Palace 1 up at Villa, Fulham 1, Luton 0, Manchester United 1, Brighton 3 as Southend put the ball straight into touch on this near side. Tottenham 0, Sheffield United 1 and West Ham 1, Manchester City 2.
There's some crazy results in there.
Scores, Ian, scores.
Scores, sorry, yes.
Throw into York.
I'm pretty confident one of them is going to be a result, my friend.
McLaughlin to Crooks. Interesting that Neil Ardley has taken the strength and conditioning, or it appeared from the interview I did with him yesterday, away from Paddy McLaughlin now. I'm telling him just to concentrate.
Oh, that is interesting, yeah. Paddy's got a part to play. I've always said it, in a team, like now, this is when you want him on the pitch, just to get the ball, keep on it, keep the ball moving.
Siziba to Fallowfield. Akinyemi was offside, so they couldn't play it forward. John Lewis comes into midfield to join in the play. Dyson, City now passing it around confidently. Crooks, 10 minutes to go. City lead 3-0, everybody. 3-0 to York City. And maybe they'll get that elusive clean sheet this afternoon as well. McLaughlin, Cordner, back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Fallowfield. To Siziba. Dyson, they're all having a touch of it.
Yes, you feel the confidence in the team.
Crooks down the line looking for Akinyemi. He's going to get there as well. It's a good ball from Crooks. Akinyemi drags the defender across. Scott Morris puts it into touch for a throw-in.
Do you know, I was just saying about man of the match, and Dan Batty would rightly have a thing, but Akinyemi, you just can't take. He's just head and shoulders above anything else on this pitch. And there's some good players on this pitch.
Oh, that's a bad tackle by Cardwell on Crooks.
He knows it. Striker's challenge.
It was. Referee's allowed him to get away with it.
Adam Crooks has done ever so well there, you know.
He has. He's done him a favour.
Yeah.
Siziba, Fallowfield. Dyson, as City go in search of a fourth. Dyson gives away possession cheaply.
Oh, come on. You'll be better than that.
Miley, back to Kensdale. Oh, he just turns away from Akinyemi in time. Oh, he's giving away possession straight to Dyson. Pick out a pass, Ollie.
Come here.
He gives it to McLaughlin.
Keep it, well done. Good football.
He gives it to Hurst, who's playing at left back. Hurst to Crooks.
Stretch them, this is good. Keep the ball, stretch them. They've got to work hard. They've got 10 men. They feel like the world's against them anyway.
Dyson.
And demoralise them.
Cordner. Back to Ryan Whitley. To Crooks. Whitley. Out on the edge of his penalty area, joining in play. The cast of thousands now in both of these benches are up, and the fourth official's trying to get members of the backroom staff at the Southend and York to sit down, but Tony McMahon ignored him a second ago. And I think one of the Southend coaches has ignored him as well. He does now go and sit down. Crooks down the line to Akinyemi, who controls. Southend intercept. Miley has it. His work rate as well, Akinyemi. Look at him chasing after the ball.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything really well.
Quite a lot, very well for this level of football. Scott Morris, infield to Miley. To the left-hand side.
I'm just trying to work out something there, David, sorry.
They come forward, does Bridge down that left-hand side. He's been held up, though, by Fallowfield. Does really well, does Ryan Fallowfield. And then he's fouled Fallowfield as Bridge. And he kicks the ball away. That'll be a yellow card for Bridge.
Yeah.
If the referee's got his red card out of his pocket, it's only a yellow. He got the wrong card, puts the red card away. Now the yellow appears. You think for Southend, though, with all these games coming up, and they've just had a player sent off, so they're going to be really short for Tuesday night. They could name 3 subs today. They're down to 2 for Tuesday.
Yeah. Be like the good old days when there's only 2 subs.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to work out, David. Right now, I don't know if Neil Ardley's aware of this. I'm sure he is. At 3-0, I reckon he would rather have a 0 than a 4 now.
Certainly.
And this will be our first of the season of not conceding.
Yeah. Long ball downfield. Akinyemi puts pressure on the defenders. And then indeed was fouled, was he, by Akinyemi? It's so soft as he limps away. The referee gives it.
He had to go for the ball. He had to challenge for the ball. Akinyemi there.
They're trying to steal a few yards. The referee's not even going to allow that. Now they take the free kick. A sin to Scott Morris. This should ensure a few extra go to Boundary Park on Tuesday evening. Of course, if you can't make it, you'll be able to listen to it on BBC Radio York. I'll be there alongside Ian.
Yes, another big challenge for City, and a winnable challenge. Let's be brutally honest.
I'll be in charge of the driver. You'll be in charge of sorting out the food, Ian.
We'll sort the food out. Don't worry about that.
Where are we going?
I shall compile a list.
There's a nice little chicken restaurant around the corner. I seem to remember from last year.
You're 100% right. I'm already licking my fingers.
Throw into Southend on halfway, far side of the field, which they take quickly. 5 minutes to go here on BBC Radio York. Ball down the centre of the field. Fallowfield's there, though, to cushion the header to Cordner. He fancies coming forward now. Gives it to Kuya. Room in front of him if he wants to get on his bike. Instead, he plays it out to Alex Hurst, who's not really had too much to do since coming on.
Nope, he's just a fresh set of legs out there, isn't he, for York City? And you know he can go.
Martin out. The chants continue from those Southend fans. Crooks, McLaughlin. What's happened here? Oh, the goalkeeper's gone down, the Southend goalkeeper, in his penalty area, even though the ball's at the other half, so the referee's pulled up play.
Oh, gives City a little chance to regroup. But this has been the sort of...
It's been needed this afternoon.
Massively.
4,679 is the crowd. 4,679.
You can all come again.
I didn't get the away support. Did you hear that?
Did he say 1,080?
No. Can't be. No, there's not, is there?
No. It's 580.
518.
80.
580. So over 4,000. So that's a couple of hundred up on the York City supporters from last week.
Yeah. Obviously saw signs of improvement last week, and they'll be happy this afternoon. This has been the second half kind of football that we've been waiting for all season. It's been exceptional, really has.
Both sets of players have come across to get a drink here. Kensdale's had a word at the fourth official there, and I'm sure it wasn't very complimentary, and the fourth official's got his notebook out of his pocket and is now taking notes, and now he's having a word with the Southend bench. Yeah,
they're just maybe losing it a little bit.
The referee's now going to come across to find out what was said. Kensdale could have said something here if he comes across, and he said something really out of turn. Now the linesman's coming onto the pitch. What's happening here? Someone said something out of turn. The card's coming out of the referee's pocket. Where's this going to be? Is it backroom or is it Kensdale? I think it's backroom. Let's see. It's a long conversation between the official and the referee. Oh no, it's a player. It's Kensdale. What colour's this card?
Oh, he's in trouble.
Oh, is it Scott Morris? He's already on yellow if it's him.
It is.
Kensdale definitely came across and said something.
I think it's Scott Morris. Is it?
This is Scott Morris. This is a second yellow. The red card's out. Straight red. Straight red. He's on a yellow. He's got a straight red. Scott Morris is saying it wasn't me. They're saying it's mistaken identity. It was definitely Kensdale I saw saying something. Yeah. But Scott Morris has been sent off. This is typical of this referee, whichever way you look at it. The stats beforehand and what we learnt. And a yellow card to Noah Hassin as well.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. The referee got bad advice, I think, from the lines. The referee's give a red card on what the linesman has told him.
Yeah, he did.
So this isn't the referee's fault. The linesman has given him the wrong name. Well, we think the wrong name.
Well, Scott Morris is still arguing in the centre circle. He's now been told by one of the other Southend players, you might as well go off with the game's over. There's only a couple of minutes left. Just getting more of us into trouble. This is absolute shambles, really.
And
I think they've got the wrong player as well.
Yeah.
He's saying it's not me. You can see as he walks across the fourth official, it's not me. And he's just been told to come off by Kevin Marr because mistaken identity, they can get that overturned at the end of the game. For a couple of minutes, it's not worth it. He may as well just come off.
Yeah, if that is indeed what has... Oh, he's not happy.
He's still not happy. He's really fuming. He's been held back by Powell, who's been substituted. Down the tunnel he goes. Fourth official's now on with the referee.
Is he correcting it or is he adding to it?
Well, they can't call him back from the dressing room, so now the fourth official may say Kensdale, or he's having to go at the backroom staff now. The referee has completely lost control of it.
If he's told he's got the wrong player, does he then go and sell Kensdale off?
Who's this going to?
Manager.
It's a yellow card for one of the backroom staff who's now laughing at the referee. Yellow card. He gives the thumbs up to him. Ironic cheers from the York City supporters. It is a shambles. Southend are down to 9. Neil Adley's turned away. He's got his hands on his hips. He's shaking his head. He can't quite believe what's going on.
No, and do you know what, the referee actually coming into this game, we're kind of worried. Most of it he's gone unnoticed. He's not made too many errors, but he just seems to have made it a little bit about him in the last few minutes. But do you know, I've got a little bit of sympathy. I think he was given bad advice from the linesman.
I agree. I think it's wrong. They've got the wrong player.
Yeah,
and I think it's Kensdale who should have been sent off if something that's said.
Yeah, and that's triggered off a whole set of situations there where the referee has had to. He's almost reacting to bad advice.
How does he get confused between the number 2 and the number 6? The size of
the linesman.
The linesman. Between them, they've got it. I think they've made absolute holics of it. But there we go.
That is what's happened. Yeah, it's awful.
Kevin Marshall can't believe it down there.
Well.
Here comes the board, 190. There's got to be a load though. What does the board say? City have it on the right-hand side, Fallowfield. 6 minutes. Come on, York City, go for the jugular. Let's have a fourth.
I'd love a fourth, but right now, if I'm Neil Adley, I'm thinking let's have a 0 as well.
We're playing 9 men now here. This is a chance to really try and fill your boots for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it is. I get you.
Oh, the Southend fans are piling on the pitch, the far side. The whole number of them invading the pitch. One of them's rugby tackled a steward. Now they're getting booed. There's a good 10 to 12 Southend fans have come on and burst onto the pitch, the far side. The game's now been held up. Every week it's something different. We didn't see this coming though.
No.
20-odd Southend fans now on the pitch. Far side, they're still coming onto the pitch.
There's a steward there, lady steward, who has just been grappled to the floor. She's just got up, and that is not good scenes for Southend, I'm afraid. That is horrible to see.
This is disgraceful.
And there's a lady steward who's just been bowled over by a young lad, obviously a real brave young lad over there. Awful.
And now more stewards are running on from the south stand.
These are the Southend fans.
And the Southend fans are coming down the touchline to guard the stewards that are running at them.
Yeah.
Robert Abercroft's having a bit of trouble getting his words out on the public address.
Embarrassing for them. Absolutely embarrassing for them. The little ball boys running out of the way as well. You don't want to see this at football matches.
It has calmed down now.
They're embarrassing
not
only themselves but the football club, I'm afraid. Yeah. Absolute cowards, a lot of them. Not a lot of them, those 10 or 15 that are on the pitch.
They're all just standing now on the perimeter just behind the fence. They're not even trying to hide. They're all going to be on camera and they're all going to be in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Batty has been given the man of the match.
No surprise there. Dippo for me was fantastic, but Dan Batty really was the fulcrum of most of the good stuff that was done by York City over the 90 minutes.
And the referee is still waiting with the ball tucked under his arm for things to calm down. Everyone is back in the stand. So this happened just as the board went up. 6 minutes was shown. We've played 2, but they're going to be added on. And now uncontested drop ball for York City. Corner. They lead by 3 goals to 0 here on what has been a surreal afternoon at the LNER. Dyson to Cordner, up against 9 men now, of course, as well, York City. Cordner again to Dyson. A little bit of keep ball just between the two of them. Give someone else a go. Cordner to Crooks, back to Whitley. Whitley clears down the centre of the field, looking for Akinyemi. Good defending though by Dimitru. He gives it to Kensdale, who we think
has got away with one.
Is the one who's got away with it for now.
For now, yeah. And this all started, I think, just from bad advice from the linesman. It's totally sullied the end of this match, and gave the fans the opportunity to become idiots for a spell there.
He's actually quieting down the York City supporters as well.
Yeah, because we've been good, really, by Southend, you know.
Cardwell brushes McLaughlin off, but has a bit of help over that far side, and it goes through to Whitley.
When we say Southend fans, there's maybe 15 or 20 of them.
Yeah,
tops,
20 odd, wasn't it, at the
you
end?
know, out of 580, it's not acceptable for those 15 or 20. They've embarrassed themselves.
Corner, little ball around the corner from Zaziba to set Fallowfield away, down the right-hand side. Ryan Fallowfield now puts the brakes on, can go infield to Kuyar, instead he gives it to John Lewis. John Lewis, he gives it to Kuyar, 30 yards from goal, Messiah Kuyar, Southend still getting men back. John Lewis to McLaughlin, send it out here, Paddy, he does, to Hurst. Hurst, he'll be wanting to get in on the action, he's going to run at his full-back towards the penalty area on this left. Instead he goes back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin, square ball to Dyson, go forward Ollie.
Kuyar.
He does, he plays it through to Kuyar in the box. Messiah Kuyar takes on the shot and it's over the bar and hits the stanchion behind the goal.
Good football again from City. Maz Kuyar, unlucky with the shot really. He wanted that ball a little bit early, a little bit fraction early. He'd have been in one-on-one with the keeper. Good stuff from City, measured build-up.
Goal kick, and Denning D can't take it because of the injury that he seems to have picked up. So Kensdale is going to. They're going to be in a bit of strife here Tuesday night at the Southend. He clears long. Cardwell just holds off corner. Dyson wins it back for York City. Into the centre of the park it goes to Bridge. Kensdale to the left hand side to Taylor. Wood. Still got it there of Southend. That's good play from them. Back to Bridge. Equaliser for Bradford City at Valley Parade. 1-1 against Harrogate Town. Yet another late goal that Harrogate Town have conceded. Now York City are penalised on that far side in front of the Southend fans. Ironic cheers as that Bridge over there who's gone down, I think it was, and that'll be a free kick to Southend.
Yeah, City just need to be professional now, see the game out. This has been a good afternoon's work. It was a pretty tough first half to watch, to be honest. Southend were definitely the top side, other than Latty Fairweather's fantastic goal, but City's second half, I think City have deserved this second half.
Yeah, second half performances. As soon as they got that second goal, they've been the dominant force. I know they've been helped after that because the sending's off.
Yeah, that definitely helped a bit, but the signs were there, David. For
Hurst on this left-hand side. Man City 3-1 up now at West Ham. Erling Haaland does have his goal.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, good player, good striker. I just think
3-1 away wins. Man City at West Ham, Liverpool at Wolves.
Yeah.
Brighton still 3-1 up at Old Trafford.
Yeah, all the top teams winning.
The little snigger just added to that at the end. Corner to Dyson. Crooks, Dyson. We've played 6 minutes, but there's going to be more added on. Corner over the top. He's on field. He's on side. He's Fallowfield around the back. Fallowfield, tight angle. Can he keep it in play? He tries to pull it back to John Lewis. He's just behind John Lewis. The referee says Fallowfield pulled back his man, and he gives the free kick. I'm not sure he did, to be honest, but there you go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Good to see Ryan Fallowfield.
Oh, and the referee decides that'll do.
Called it
full
off.
time. York City finally get their third win of the season. There's handshakes all around between the York City bench and the Southend bench. But goals, a wonder goal from Thierry Latty Fairweather in the 26th minute. And then second half, 2 quick fire strikes in the final 15 from Messiah Kuyar and Xander Saziba. Finally, York City get all 3 points at the 9th time of asking. They were helped in the second half when the referee, Paul Cooper, decided it was chance for him to get in the spotlight, sending 2 Southend players off, both questionable possibly. We'd have to see the first one back. The Southend players have been told now by their manager to go away from the officials and to go and thank their supporters, despite 20 odd of them piling onto the pitch and rugby tackling a couple of the stewards over there in the final few minutes. But overall, a very satisfying afternoon for York City, Ian Dunn.
Yes, it really was. Over the 90 minutes, I think City, they grew into the match. They must have had a bit of something said at half-time, because the first half was a tough watch at times. But in the second half, for me, City showed, I think, glimpses of where Neil Ardley would like his team to be on a more consistent basis. That was a good performance second half.
It was. He'll still have question marks around the first half and the lack of dominance, the amount of possession they conceded to Southend. But it's the result that was always going to matter most here this afternoon. They improved immeasurably after the break, Sharon. And they've got that 3 points. They've beaten Southend United by 3 goals to 0.